Hello everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today I'm going to be answering all the questions that you asked me for my 500 subscribers. So thank you again everyone for subscribing. Technically this is like the 600 plus subscriber Q&A, but I wanted to make sure it was out there for a little while so everyone had time to answer questions. If you missed it, don't worry. I will do another Q&A probably when I hit 1,000, so look forward to that. I split it up between a book and Booktube questions, as well as life questions and faith questions. So I did get a question about my salvation story. I will be putting that in a separate video next week, so you can watch that next week. That way this video isn't extremely long, because it's already going to be long. Let's go right ahead and get into the questions. First question, these are all book and Booktube related questions. How did your love of reading start? So really easy. Pretty much my love of reading started even before I could read. One of my first memories, my mom still talks about it, is she used to read the book Cinderella to me, and it was a pretty hard book to read. It had a lot of words, a lot of pages, and she would try to skip pages to finish it early so she could go to bed. But me, being a smart alecky, remembered almost the whole book word for word, and if she skipped it, I could remember it even though I was pretty young and I couldn't really read it yet. So that's when my love of reading started. Okay, next question is, well, it kind of connects to the first one. When did your love of reading begin? Yeah, pretty much when my mom used to read to me, so there you go. Okay, which fiction book could you read over and over? I think most of you know that I love The Princess Bride by William Goldman. That's pretty much the only book that I would, be happy to read over and over again, other than the Bible. So I usually read it. I read it last year and I plan on reading it this year, but usually I don't read it that often. Usually I wait a good 5 to 6 years before I reread it, but I guess I'm rereading it again this summer. Okay, next question. What was your favorite childhood book? Cinderella was one of my favorites. Childhood book. I did love Tawny Scrawny Lion. That was one of my favorite children's books. Tacky the Penguin. I just found out like a couple years ago that it's a whole series, so now I've been trying to find them all for my future kids. I only had the one that was just titled Tacky the Penguin, and now I know that there's a whole series, so I have like 3 of them now, and I need them all because they're cute and funny, and I love them. They're adorable. All right, what is your favorite genre to read? So Christian fiction isn't technically a genre, so I won't go there. I don't know if I have an absolute favorite or not. I feel like I really enjoy historical fiction a lot, so that goes for any like mysteries or historical romance, historical mysteries, pretty much anything that's historical fiction I tend to really enjoy. So I guess you could just say historical fiction in general, for the most part. And favorite author. So I have a ton of favorite authors. I don't even know if I honestly can pick just one anymore. But Misu Andrews is one of my favorite authors, and so I guess I could say she's at the top, but I don't have like an ultimate favorite anymore because I've just found so many new favorites that there's just too many out there to mention now. Favorite series. I'm starting to get into a lot more series too, but I do know I absolutely love the Rocky Mountain Legacy series by Kristen Heitzman. It is my ultimate favorite. It's one of the only series that I have ever reread. I think I've reread it 3 times. Well, 2 times the full series. I think the first 3 books I read 3 times because I didn't know that the series continued. I think there's like 5 books. But yeah, so I've read that one and I do really want to read it again. I actually found it on audiobook in Hoopla, and I might try it that way. That might be a cool way to reread it again. Favorite book cover. I don't know. I'm trying to look at my shelves because like I love like shiny covers. Like Jules Verne's collection is gorgeous. I love anything with like gold foil on it. It's just so pretty. I love that there's like a hot air balloon and a lot of like travel elements into it since I love to travel. So There's that one. That probably will be one of my favorites. This is another one of my favorite covers. The hardcover special edition of The Princess Bride. Look at that gold foil and that gorgeous like wood grain background. That is stunning. Like, I love it. I love it. My friend gifted this to me. It's even got the City of Florin in there and Gilder. It's just beautiful. The whole edition's gorgeous. It's got pictures. Like, it's just gorgeous. All right, let's see. Here we go again. Who is your favorite Christian author? So, Misu Andrews definitely is one. Toni Shiloh, I just read her book In Search of a Prince. Absolutely loved it. So, she's probably a new favorite that I will be reading more from. So, as far as non-Christian author favorites, you all know I love Joan Bauer. This isn't like my favorite book of hers, but I do love Joan Bauer books. They're really good. So yeah, I have a lot of favorites. Too many to mention. Okay, let's see. What is the best book you've read so far this year? Toni Shiloh, In Search of a Prince. Absolutely. It is one of my absolute favorite books now of all time and will be at the top. It's either that one or a very, very close second has been Where the Road Bends by Rachel Fordham. Both of those have been at the top of the list so far this year, and I love them both. Can't decide, honestly. They're really, really, really close to being favorite of the year. Okay. Next question. Do you like reading nonfiction? Not often. I would honestly say hardly ever. I don't really enjoy it. I don't even really enjoy Christian nonfiction that much, except for the Bible, of course. I'm just not a nonfiction person. I really like just having an imagination or imaginary worlds and stories that I could just, fall into and never get out of. There are very few nonfiction books that I've loved. I love Steve and Me by Terry Irwin. It's one of my all-time favorite books. I loved learning more about Steve Irwin, and I just think he was a great person that helped God's creatures a lot, he and his family. So that's one of my favorites. But yeah, as far as nonfiction goes, I don't read a lot of it. Okay, next up. What kind of book covers do you like? It kind of went along with my favorite books. I put this question in the wrong spot. But again, I love gold foiled. I love kind of hardcover, bigger editions that are just kind of like out there. And I love also, not that one. I also love floral covers. So anything with a lot of flowers. I have two Puffin and Bloom editions. I have Little Woman and Anne of Green Gables, which I haven't read either one of these yet. I'm not sure if I've ever read Anne of Green Gables. I feel like I have, but I'm not sure. Anywho, so I do love a good floral. And I think that's it for like favorite covers. I just love florals and gold foil on my books. Well, since one of the books that started your love of books and reading, I guess that would be a little bit different than childhood books, because childhood books might have been books that like my parents read to me, or I was too young to really like understand and read more. So as far as books that started my love of reading, I loved Nancy Drew. That one really got me into reading. I love Nancy Drew. I probably read the entire original series when I was younger, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I missed too many of them growing up. Chronicles of Narnia, although I stopped at The Magician's Nephew only because that one creeped me out when I was little, but I'm okay now. I can read it, and it's one of my favorites in the series, as well as the Journey to June trilogy, which I have talked about in the past by Kim V. Engelman. Those really grew my love of reading. Okay, let's see. Next question. At what point do you know when you should probably DNF a book? So I easily DNF books. If it has too explicit love scenes in it, it is immediately out the door and either back to the library, or if I owned it, then it'll go to a little free library, or I'll try to get rid of it somehow. If there's too much swearing, like if there's like 1-2 words, I'm okay, but I prefer not to have any swearing in a book, and that's also out the door as well. So that's usually when I DNF a book. I don't usually DNF books when they're boring, especially if they're for like a reading challenge. But if it's not for a reading challenge and it's just really boring or really slow, I usually stop. It's usually the only reasons why I DNF. Other than that, I'm usually good with reading almost anything. Or also, like, if they have, like, things I know as a Christian I shouldn't be reading, like, you know, like dark magic or other stuff like that, then that is another reason why I will DNF. Okay, next question. Do I have any special or favorite book accessories? I forgot to grab them. So I had to get my favorite bookish accessories. They were all downstairs. So the first thing that I have, which I actually haven't used really at all, but it is a Sloth, oops, upside down, and there's dust, yuck. Okay, anywho, my Sloth book sleeve. I actually have a book in here which I haven't read yet, but I plan on hopefully getting to it. But I haven't used it hardly at all, except to store this book because it never came with a zipper, and I really wanted a zipper, so no dust or anything would get into it as I go camping, etc. But I bought either the wrong size zipper, or I just, like, yeah, I think I bought the wrong size zipper, so I'll have to go one size up and tear it out and re-sew it. But I do really love the color. It's my favorite color, mint green. So that is one thing that I absolutely love. My earbuds are another big book accessory because I listen to my audiobook all the time. I listen to it in the car if I'm taking my mom somewhere. I listen to audiobooks if my family is watching TV, then I listen to my audiobooks. These are just, I don't even know how to pronounce the name on those earbuds. They're like AMS, SMT. I'll try to link these down below if I can. These are just plain Bluetooth earbuds. They're not expensive. I think they're like 20 bucks, but they work really nicely. I don't like how they disconnect sometimes, not while you're listening, but like if you pause it and, like, you know, 20 seconds, maybe a minute or two later, they're automatically like disconnect. And it's like, I just paused it. I was going to continue soon. So that's the only reason and problem with these that I have. But other than that, I really do like them. And they last quite a long time without recharging. Oh yeah, and this battery pack is actually, when they go back in there, they recharge. Can't tell if you can see when they're lighted up, but they are rechargeable, and you just recharge the case. So I think it's good for like 3 or 4 charges. So they last quite a good time. I usually only have to charge these like once every other week, roughly, depending on how often I use them. All right, next one, which I love. My book light. I did a lot of research. I asked friends on Facebook. This is like the best book light ever. I used to have the ones that like connected to your book, but like it would bend the pages. It could like crease them or whatever. This goes around your neck. I'm not going to shine it toward you, but it has 3 light settings. You can also change the color. I think that's really cool. And you can turn one off or turn one down. I really do love this light so much. It's rechargeable again, and I actually can charge this, my earbuds, and my phone all on the same cord. If you have a Samsung, or I have a Samsung phone, whatever it's called. Not an iPhone, just regular phone. Okay. And then my last little book thing, I had to share her. Her name's Jessie. My friend Jessie made her for me. It was a belated birthday gift. She was so sweet. And I got this little guy, and she sits on my little book cart downstairs. So that is my book reading buddy. She sits there across from me, and I like that she sits on my books. Okay, so that is my last one for book accessories. Okay. Do you have any favorite bookstores or libraries you've been to over the years? So I live in a big area for libraries right now. We have a ton of libraries, and I feel so blessed to live in an area like this. We probably have a good, I would say a good 20 plus libraries within an hour radius of me. So yeah, there are a ton of libraries around here. Definitely the closest library that's the biggest is the downtown library in Buffalo, New York. It's a bit of ways away, but it's not too far, and that one's really big. I actually haven't been there in years, but I love that one. I love my local library, and about 10 minutes away from me, 10 to 15 minutes away from me. That one's really nice, and I actually know most of the librarians there, so I feel close to home there. So those two. There's another really big one about 45 minutes away that's really big, and they have great book sales. So I'm hoping to hit that one up soon, although the last book sale they had kind of stunk. So hopefully the next one will be better. Okay, so as far as bookstores, I go to Barnes & Noble every once in a while, but I usually only hit the clearance racks. It's too expensive to buy regular books there unless like I get a gift card or something. There's a secondhand bookshop, which I go every once in a while, but I usually don't find anything there. So as far as bookstores go, I don't have much around me that I go to usually. I usually just take advantage of the libraries around me or online shopping usually. Okay, let's see. What makes a bookstore or a library good for you? Usually the staff, if they're really nice and welcoming. The librarian staff, I absolutely love them. They do a great job. If they keep the shelves clean and neat, I mean, obviously that is a good thing. Okay, so I like this question. If you could write a book, what genre would you choose? I am in the works of actually writing my first book, and it is a nonfiction. I never thought I'd say that. If I ever wrote a book, I always thought it would be fiction, most likely a romance of some sort with pirates, probably, but God has specifically called me to nonfiction. He's called me to tell my life story and hopefully encourage others in what they're going through, that they're not going through it alone, that God is with them every step of the way through the good and the bad and the hard, and I'm just really excited to get to writing it. I'm very excited. So good question. When were you first exposed to Booktube, and what channels did you originally watch? So I was exposed to Booktube, I would say about 2 years ago, at least, between 2 and 2.5 years ago. I started watching it because I finally got started back into reading a ton of books again, as I read little when I was in college and high school. I didn't read too much back then. I kind of went away from it and just concentrated on mostly school and watching TV usually. But so about 2 years ago, I didn't follow too many people. I was trying to remember like who I followed. I didn't follow too many Christian booktubers because I didn't know that was a thing back then. So I remember like I was really into the TBR games. That's why I have one now. So I used to watch Codie's Book Corner, although she hasn't posted in a long time. But I used to watch hers because she used to have the wheel, spinning the wheel, which I loved. Jessethereader, I watch his. His editing skills are fantastic. Like, I just love his editing skills. Hailey In Bookland, let's see, and then also Alexandra Roselyn, because she has a lot of middle grade books, so I usually check out her channel for middle grade suggestions. So I will link all these people's channels down below if you've never heard of them. None of these are Christian booktubers, as I said, because I didn't follow them until about 6 months or so ago. So those are the ones that I first started with. What made you want to start a YouTube channel? So I actually got into YouTube about 2 years ago with my Bible journaling channel. I always link it down below in the description box if you want to check it out. But when we went into lockdown and God was calling me to encourage others in their art and encourage others to get closer into His Word. And it really kept me busy. It kept me busy. It kept me from not being bored while at home. And so it really helped a lot in that aspect. And then I got into Booktube about 6 months ago, and I have been really, really enjoying it. It's been lots of fun. I've gotten so many book friends. This channel is growing a lot bigger and a lot faster than my Bible journaling, which I totally understand because not a ton of people know about Bible journaling. I actually just hit 1,000 subscribers, but I'm already at almost 700 on this channel. So it's definitely been growing a lot quicker, and I understand that because a lot more people read than they do art in their Bibles. So totally understandable. I love both channels a lot. I love doing both. I will be doing it for as long as God wants me to until He leads me to something else. And how did you start building followers is the next question. Just start talking to people. start talking to other booktubers on YouTube, you know, and I never really asked for advice too much, but I was listening, I was watching, I was learning. I was seeing kind of what other people seemed to like, what was like common videos to make and stuff like that. And, you know, people started giving me shout outs because I started doing a lot of videos and stuff, and it's just been a lot of fun. Also, making more videos does help if you can. I've heard that at least 2 to 3 videos a week usually helps you grow more followers. So I've been trying to do 3 videos a week, and it's going okay so far. I'm not getting tired too much. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the things that I can give advice to for growing followers. It's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it a lot. Okay, another question is, do I have any other social media outlets? I do. I have Instagram, which I always link down below in the description box. I also have a Facebook Bible journaling group as well as a book group, but I do have those. If you're interested, I will link down all of those down below in the description box. Okay, next question. What is your favorite thing about having a YouTube channel? Well, of course, talking about books. But one of my favorites is I like sharing clean books, and a lot of booktubers really don't share that unless they're Christian booktubers, which is nice and awesome that there are us out there. But I really try hard to bring both Christian and both non-Christian books to you that I find that are clean and wholesome and are good for us to read. I also enjoy getting to meet new people. I love making new friends, and God's blessed me with so many fellow Christian booktubers out there who have become friends with me, and I absolutely love them all. And I love all of you subscribers who have become my friends, and it's just been a quick and incredible journey. I'm loving it so much. Okay, let's see. What is the most challenging thing about having a YouTube channel? Making sure that I know about the books that I'm talking about. Sometimes if they're kind of on the boring side, or if I really didn't like them, sometimes I can forget the main plot. I also forget characters' names. So that's a struggle for me, and it's one of the hardest things is usually the end of the month wrap-ups, because I tend to get excited, and I sometimes have a hard time wrapping my mind about what I want to talk about the book. So that's probably the hardest thing that I struggle with in Booktube. Other than that, I think that's really it, because I just really enjoy doing all the videos. Also coming up with ideas. I haven't really run dry yet, but I know I'm probably going to at some point. Okay, and then leading into life questions is our last kind of bookish type question. Well, not bookish, but like leading into the life questions. And it says, do you have any other hobbies besides reading and journaling? Yeah. There is so many out there. So I love making jewelry. That's what I do for just spending money. I don't make a lot doing it, but I sell it at a Christian bookstore. And so I love making jewelry. I don't make it too often anymore. I kind of got a little tired of making it, if I'm being honest, because I used to do craft shows and stuff, and those got me exhausted. So I don't do those anymore. But so I used to make jewelry. I still do every once in a while for the store. So that's one of my hobbies. Photography. I don't do it very often anymore. I need to get back out because I love photography. I love doing that so much. I love traveling. I used to love hunting for beach glass. Again, I want to take you guys with me this summer because I haven't done it in a couple years, but I miss looking for beach glass down by the lake. It's a lot of fun. So I'll be doing that a couple times this summer with you all. Take you along with me. What else? I need to get back into doing archery. Archery is one of my absolute favorite hobbies, and I haven't done it in a long time. I actually hurt myself the once. I got like a bruise that lasted like a month, but I really do enjoy archery. I try and teach it to my family, but I guess I have better upper body strength, I guess. But it's been a lot of fun doing that. It's one of my favorite hobbies. I do a lot. I do painting. I do scrapbooking every once in a while. Pretty much anything artsy and craftsy, I absolutely love to do, 100%. So yeah, let's see. Okay, life questions. Done with book questions. On to life questions. You pretty much knew most of that book stuff anyways about me, or roughly. Okay. What area do you live in? So I have mentioned I live near Buffalo. That's the biggest city near me. I live more in a rural area, which is nice. Not too much traffic, but you can hear it every once in a while. Niagara Falls is close to me as well, so one of those 2 points you can look on a map, and I live pretty close to both of those. Okay, do I have any siblings? I actually have 2 in heaven. I do not have any on earth. My mom actually miscarried when I was 17, so I know it would have been hard for all of us because being an only child for 17 years, and just all of a sudden, and I know my mom and dad kind of have some health issues. I have health issues, so I feel like, it probably would have been hard for all of us, but I am grateful that I will get to see them in heaven. So yeah, so I am an only child here on earth at least, and I have 2 heavenly siblings. Okay, next up, what do you do for work? I already touched on that. I make jewelry, and that's pretty much it other than my YouTube channels. I don't make money off of them, but they keep me busy, they keep me going, and I have fun with them. And I think that's it. I do try to sell some books online. I have sold stuff on Facebook Marketplace, but as far as a full-time job, not yet, but God has a lot of plans for me, which I will be talking about in my salvation story next week. And the writing of the book as well. That'll be my main job for a while, is writing that book and getting that done. All right, next question. What did you do right after high school? I went right into college in the fall, and I went to Buffalo State College. I actually dropped out. I was skipping classes and stuff. I'm being honest here. And I ended up, I really wanted to get back into it. I really wanted to try hard and do it again. So I actually went to Niagara County Community College, and that's where I got my degrees. And I did a lot better. I really tried my hardest in those courses, and I got my degrees in event planning and tourism. So yeah, those are the things that I went for, and I double majored, and I got my 2 associate's degrees. So I'm very happy that I got to do that. So that's what I did kind of straight out of high school. I pretty much had a normal summer vacation. I didn't do anything big, not that I remember. So yeah, that's fun. Okay, so the next question was, did you go to college? I just answered that, kind of went into there. So yes, I did. And I enjoyed my last few years being in the event planning and tourism part, or hospitality as well. It's kind of like triple major, but dual major. It had like 3 things in it. Okay. Let's see. What are your future job possibilities? So I will touch on it a little bit. You do know that I'm writing a book now about my life and my struggles, and I'm hoping it will help others as well. And I know God has plans for me to travel a lot. So I'm not exactly sure what that entails yet, but I know He's got a lot of plans for me to travel a lot, and I'm just so grateful because that's the thing I've been really wanting to do almost my whole life and never really realized it until He pointed it out. So I'll talk more about that again next week as well. Okay, next one. What is one area you struggle with in life? So definitely my health issues. A lot of the times I feel like everything's going okay, but then something else happens. So I have back issues. My feet are flat, so those cause me problems. I have eye trouble, so yeah, a little bit of everything, but I know God is with me, and when He heals me, because I know that I have been prophesied over. So I go through stuff like everybody else, and those are my biggest struggles, is my health issues, my weight as well. So I've been really trying hard to just live a more healthy lifestyle for myself and my family. So yeah. Okay, next question. Top 2 self-care actions. Reading my Bible. It's the most important thing for my mental health and for just getting rid of all the stress. Like when I'm reading or listening to praise and worship music, that is like my main stress reliever, and I always need to do that more often because I get very stressed sometimes, and it's just good to just get into God's Word. Journaling has really helped me with that, so that's kind of a self-care thing that I do. Beach class hunting used to be one of my greatest self-care things, was just to take walks along the beach with God and look for beach class. I absolutely love doing that. Okay, so yeah, those are 2 self-care things. Doing my nails. I don't do that. I don't do it that often though, but just relaxing and doing your nails, that could be a self-care thing that I really enjoy sometimes. Okay, next question. Okay, any special plans for your 30th birthday? I already went on a big trip with my family to Disney. So that was pretty much both my dad's and my birthday trip, because we both turned 30 and 60. So that was our kind of big trip of doing that, and that was a lot of fun. I don't really have any plans for my birthday. I'm hoping to go to my favorite restaurant, which is called San Marco's, and it is incredibly tasting Italian food. I usually get the quail there. Oh, it's so good, with the homemade risotto. The owners are full-blooded Italians. They actually came over from Italy. The owner's wife has been the head chef there for, I think, going on, it's either 12 or 15 years, I think, of the restaurant. And so I absolutely love that restaurant. We only go there once a year. It's not super expensive, but it's a little pricey. So we get to go there on my birthday. We either do that or go to the Corning Museum of Glass, but I'm heading toward the food because I've been eating healthy and I really just want to go there. Okay, next question. Do you have any odd or unique abilities? So I did touch on kind of both of these, but I do enjoy archery. That's kind of a unique ability. I'm not super great at it, but I would like to get better, and I hope to get like another bow soon, because I have like a homemade bow that I bought that's made out of PVC pipe, I think, but I would like to get a wooden bow as well. And I think what is an odd ability that I have is beach glass hunting. My eyes, even though they're not super clear, like I can literally spot a piece of beach glass a mile away, or at least it feels that way. I'm very, very good. My mom's like, how did you spot like that little piece of beach glass from like 3 feet away? And I'm like, I don't know, my eyes just trained on it, I guess. So I'm usually really good at looking for beach glass. That's like an odd talent. I don't really have too many odd or unique abilities. I don't know. So those are the two things that I found just kind of unique about me. Okay, so the next one, favorite movie. So I'll give you like my top 5. I'll give you my top 5. You probably haven't heard of too many of these. So The Princess Bride, obviously. There's a movie called Somewhere in Time with, what's his name? Come on. Christopher Reeves and Jane Seymour. I absolutely love that movie. My grandma loved it, and she introduced it to me. There's an old movie called Some Like It Hot. I also love that movie. Mighty Joe Young. Oh, I love that movie so much. It's one of my ultimate favorites. I love gorillas, and so that's one of my absolute favorite movies. And then the 5th one, I would probably say Arsenic and Old Lace, I think, with Cary Grant. Yeah, that would probably be my 5th choice. So those are my top 5 favorites. If you've never seen any of them, highly recommend. I love them all. They're all so good. Okay, what is your favorite Disney movie? So I don't really like a lot of the newer ones. I definitely like Pixar movies over Disney movies, especially nowadays. So I like Ratatouille. That's one of my favorites. Emperor's New Groove. That's an underrated one. I love that one. I just love Yzma. She's so funny. And then I like really old ones. Like I like the original Freaky Friday from like the 1970s, In Search of the Castaways. So a lot of the really, really, really old ones I enjoy watching. Okay, so which leads into the next question, which is gonna be a little bit hard, but it says, what makes you love Disney so much? So I used to be the biggest Disney nut. Like you can see on my bookshelf still, like a Disney nut. But the past year or two, their values really don't match up with Christian values and just good values in general. I feel like they've really gone downhill. So unfortunately, you probably won't even go back to Disney just because of their values. And, they do stuff that as a Christian, like we shouldn't be involved with. So it kind of stinks. But I would rather have the Lord than Disney. So yeah. Okay, next question. Do you like plants? I prefer fake plants, only because I'm not very good at remembering to water them. Who here in the comments remembers to water their plants? I don't. I used to have African violets. That's probably one of the only plants that I kept alive, but then I don't repot them. And then they grow and grow and grow, and then they stick out of the pots, and then I have to get rid of them because they die because I never repotted them. So yeah, I'm not a huge plant keeper. My dad has a lot of plants that we usually keep. I do have a cactus that my friend gave me, but again, I don't water it. I just don't. So I'm not very good. I prefer fake plants, which I don't have any on my shelves, but I would like to get a couple. I feel like also I would like to get more fake plants because maybe it'll be like, you know, really pretty, but like no bugs will be attracted to my bookshelves. Hopefully. Although they could think they're real. Who knows? Okay. Next question is, do you like pets? Oh, I love pets, but I don't have any. I haven't had any actually since high school, actually, was when I left. Oh no, I had a fish. I had fish in college. Actually, kind of funny, I had 2 fish 2 different times. I caught 3 fish while camping. They were in a river. They were little minnows, and I don't know what happened to the other 2. I think he might have eaten them. I don't know. They just disappeared. But anyway, so I had that one. He lasted, I think, 5 or 6 years from the river, a wild river. And I don't know how he lasted that long, but it was a wild caught fish. He lasted that long. His name was Jack. I miss Jack. But yeah, so I had him, and then I had another fish, a beautiful, beautiful pink convict cichlid, a light pink fish. I loved that fish so much. It was really pretty. It was only about that big, I think. And I took him to college with me. He had a roommate, but unfortunately she did not make it. But his name was Rigoletto. And yeah, I loved that fish so much. And that one lasted a long time too. He lasted a good 4 or 5 years at least. And yeah, so I've had fish. I've had 2 bunnies in my lifetime. I've had 1 dog and a couple of outside cats that were somebody else's, but they were kind of abandoned. So we couldn't take them inside, but somebody else fed them. But they hung around me a lot because they liked me. I think that's all the animals that I had. Oh, hamster. I did not like the hamster. She kept biting me. My mom just said, wash your hands. It did not work. She was mean. So yeah, I really didn't cry when that hamster passed away, which I normally do, but I was like, honestly, that hamster scared me. So yeah, there's that. Okay, next question. What is your least favorite earthly creature? Bugs. Bugs in general, and spiders. Yeah, those are my least favorite. Nothing beats those. Nothing at all. Yeah, I don't like either one of those at all. The only bugs that I like dragonflies and I like butterflies. Yep, that's pretty much it. I don't even like ladybugs anymore. Yeah, I used to love them until a couple fell down my shirt one summer and scared me. And yeah, those are on the do not disturb list. Do not disturb this person right here. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. So next question. What is your favorite type of food? So I actually have a new one now. Since I've been eating more healthy and trying to live a healthier lifestyle, my absolute favorite food is poke bowl. I love it. It's so healthy. I usually get white rice, sometimes mixed with greens or spinach. I know white rice isn't the healthiest, but it's like a treat every once in a while. And then I usually get either raw salmon or marinated yellowtail, but yellowtail is really hard to find. Only one place an hour and a half away from me does that. So, but it is my favorite. And then I do mango, pineapple, usually seaweed salad, which surprises me that it's really good. What else do I do? I also do like the sweet chili sauce. That's my favorite, or mango sauce. I like a sweeter sauce when I do that. I think that's about it. Oh yeah, and maybe like some fried onion or garlic crisps on top. Again, another little treat that I shouldn't do, but every once in a while. Okay, so yeah, that is my favorite type of food right now. Other than that, I do love a good sub sandwich, but I am trying to stay away from bread. And every once in a while, I'll have like whole grain bread. Okay, next question. Favorite flavor of ice cream? So again, I haven't had ice cream in a very, very, very long time. But if I ever had ice cream again, I do love Reese's ice cream from Breyers. That's one of my favorites. But I actually, the past few times I've had it, I haven't liked it as much. Our local ice cream place makes homemade peanut butter paradise ice cream that is so good. It is peanut butter ice cream, peanut butter swirls, peanut butter cups, and I think chunks of peanut butter. It's like all peanut butter, but it's like, it doesn't taste like it's overwhelming. Like it's a perfect bite of peanut butter. It's so good. I love it. I might do it once this summer. Just don't tell anybody. Okay. But yeah, that's my favorite ice cream. Okay. Coffee or tea? You all know I'm a tea drinker, or at least most of you do. I love my tea. I cannot stand coffee. It is too strong for me. If I do coffee, like if I feel like it like once every 5 years, I have to do a lot of milk and a lot of sugar because it's too strong for me. I don't like it. I'm a tea drinker. What's your favorite tea? One of my favorites is from Republic of Tea, and it is Red Velvet. Oh, it's so good. It tastes like a cup of hot cocoa, but it is tea. It's not as strong as cocoa, but oh, is it good. It's one of my favorites. And then, what else? Jasmine pearls. It can be mixed with green tea. It's just the jasmine, like, loose leaf pearls. They're kind of like in a ball. You put those in, oh, it just smells so good. It smells like jasmine flowers, and I need to get some of those. They're one of my absolute favorite teas of all time. So those two would be probably my tops. Okay, next up. What is your favorite holiday? Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday. I love everything about it. Jesus' birth. I celebrate all month long. At least all month long. Okay, let's see. Which historical figure would you want to have a chat with? Obviously Jesus, at least for me. Like, I literally, if like my mom and I would be Mary and Martha in the Bible. She would be cooking, she'd be Martha cooking and cleaning and getting the house prepared for Jesus. And I would be sitting at his feet listening to his stories. That would be my mom and I, absolutely. And she'd be like, come help me. And Jesus would be like, leave her alone. She's listening to my stories. And so yeah, I'd be listening at Jesus' feet to his stories. That would be absolutely who I would want to have a chat with. And we get to someday, which is awesome. And we get to chat with him even now. We get to chat with him all the time. And I think that's awesome that he's always available for us no matter what. Okay, let's see. Next question. If you could travel back in time, what time period would you go to? Sorry, crinkling paper. Okay. I feel like I would want to go to I feel like back in the day I probably would have picked like the Renaissance, only because of the beautiful dresses in the Renaissance. I would have picked that growing up probably, or any time that had pirates, although yeah, finding out that they weren't that great now, probably not a good idea. So nowadays I probably would pick something like the 1940s or 50s, as I love the outfits. The hair was pretty fun. The dances, I love dancing. Like, how come they can't have dance halls around here? Like, I would go every single weekend. I love dancing so much. And those like old time dances and ballroom dancing, oh, I just love that. And yeah, so that would probably be the era that I would end up in. Okay, ocean or the lake? I love both. But beach glass is harder to find around the ocean. So I would say lake just for that. But I love the view of an ocean better. Like when you see the sunset on the ocean and the big giant waves and stuff, I would choose it for that reason. But because I like beach glass a lot, I would probably choose lake. Okay, next question. Number 1 dream vacation spot. I kind of have two. I'd love to go all over Europe, but I would love to go to Italy. I want to take Italian cooking classes, although that probably wouldn't be great for my healthy eating. But I would love to take like a painting tour. I think that would be fun, just painting across a few cities. I think that'd be cool. Visiting the Amalfi Coast. So pretty much all over Italy. And then I would love to visit Puerto Rico. That's on the top of my list because I've heard there is some great beach glass hunting there. And yeah, I just want to go there for like 2 weeks to a month and just have fun looking for beach glass and reading books. I would be okay with that. Okay, now we're on to just a few faith questions, which I will touch on those, and then I will be doing my salvation story next week because we've already been here for a while. Okay, so faith questions. What is your favorite Bible verse? My favorite Bible verse is Jeremiah 29:11. It is my life verse. I love it. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. plans to give you a hope and a future. So that is my favorite Bible verse, and I love that God has plans for each of us, and we just need to align our plans with his plans. All right, so what is your favorite Bible translation and commentary? So I don't really read commentaries. I have a few times in the past. I should a little bit more often. I do devotionals every once in a while, which I do enjoy. But I mostly just stick with God's Word. My favorite translation would probably be NKJV, New King James Version. As King James Version is just a little on the hard side for me. It's not bad, but with the these and the thous and stuff, it can be a little daunting. So NKJV is a little easier. It's more plain English for the most part, but it sticks really close to the King James Version. So I do read that one the most. I do have a couple more. I have NIV, which was one of my very first Bibles. It's one of the easiest to learn if you're new to Christianity. I think I have a few more, but I don't remember what they are. But those are the ones that I usually use. Okay, let's see what's next. Was there anything special that drew you to your current church over other churches in your area? Well, a church that we used to go to, unfortunately, our pastor stepped down. That church probably would have been our life church if God didn't have other plans for everybody there. Yeah, I've had a lot of prophecy at that church and a lot of wonderful messages from the Lord there. For now, we just go to a church right down the road. Nothing really drew us there just because it's the closest, but as long as it preaches God's written word, nothing else, then we will stay. And when God leads us someplace more permanent or wherever he wants us to go, if he wants us to move like 20 times before we find a good church, then that's what we'll do, because that's where God wants us to be at that time. So yeah. So nothing really drew us to that church. We have been actually to the church down the street before, but it's been years and years and years. Okay. And also, does your church have a library? Do you make use of it? I honestly don't know, because I've only been there a handful of times. So I should probably ask. That might be a good thing to ask about. I probably wouldn't really utilize it that much because I have a ton of books that I have and I utilize my local libraries, so I probably wouldn't use it that much. But yeah, so I don't know if they do or not. Okay, what denomination are you? I don't have I'm a non-denominated, that's the word, non-denominated Christian. I don't have anything, because really, as long as you have Jesus in your heart and you accept him as your savior, you don't really need to be a certain denomination. So that's because we have a relationship with him, and that's all that matters, and that's all that we need in life. So yeah, I don't have one, which is totally fine. Okay, let's see. Have you ever been angry with God? I think all of us have at some point or another. I feel like the only times I was ever really mad at God was when I had really bad health issues, and most of the time it was just like, why is this happening? And now I know that I went through it because other people might be going through the same thing, and I'm here to help others and help them understand that they're not going through it alone. So yeah, so even though we go through hard times, that was probably when I was angry with God the most, but it never really lasted super long, like at all. I was mostly sad and hurt versus angry, really. Also hurt that my husband hasn't come along yet. But I'm learning. I actually have been learning the past few years that I need a closer relationship with God before I get to have my husband. He's got someone special out there for me, and I've been really trying hard to concentrate on God more and not worry about finding a spouse and a loved one. So yeah, I have been a little upset about that, but I've never really gotten super, like, really angry with God, like just more hurt, I guess, and upset. Okay, what next? What's your first memory with Jesus? This one I really like. Okay, so I'm actually gonna talk about my first physical experience with Jesus, which is one of my absolute favorite stories that I love to tell. I was in college, not the first one, but the second one, and it was I think it was my first semester away from home because I was dorming, and I really wasn't homesick, not at all, really, which God helped me with. But one night I was in the school library. It was like 9:30 at night, I think, when I got out of there, between 9 and 9:30. But there was nobody in the courtyard. It was pitch black. There was only like one or two like street lamps, and I was pretty scared walking from the school to the dorm, and it wasn't that far. It's like, I would say 30, 60 yards maybe away. It really wasn't that far, but it was good enough to where I was like, there's nobody out here. And at the time, I didn't think to ask for like a security guard to walk me or whatever. So I was like, God, just please protect me as I go back to the dorm. So as I was walking, it's pretty cool. As I was walking, I just felt this presence come over me. And I have felt this way quite a few times after, but I literally felt, I didn't see anything, but I felt a hand hold mine. And it is the most amazing feeling ever. I just can't explain how much it just gives me so much peace, but like it doesn't feel like somebody like crushing my hand. It's just gently holding it, because my hand was like in a C shape and it wouldn't close or open. It would just stay in that position. So like I knew that like somebody was like there holding my hand, and it was in this like perpetual, whatever that word is, C position, and it wouldn't move or open. I could just feel like this presence just holding my hand and walking me all the way back to my dorm room. And it is the most amazing feeling and the most amazing experience ever. And I honestly don't think I've ever heard anyone else mention something like that. So I'm like, it just made me feel like wow, like God, you are there. And it's the very first time I ever felt him physically being there. And so yeah, that is my very first like physical experience with Jesus that I will always hold in my heart 100%. And even when I ask, like if I'm praying and I'm just like, God, hold my hand, like he's right there, like bam. And it's just awesome. I absolutely love it. Okay, next question. This is the last question actually, before my salvation story, which I will do on Monday, so you guys can check that out. How has your life changed after meeting Jesus? So my family has always been Christian growing up, but I grew closer to the Lord back in 2019, I think, was when I was really trying hard to get closer with the Lord and really changing my ways. And I fell away from him a lot in high school and college. And so finding him again, my life has changed a lot. Like my attitudes have changed. My whole countenance has changed really for the better. He's done incredible. And my life goals have changed. My daily habits have changed. My attitude has changed. Pretty much everything has changed for the better. And honestly, I have to tell you though, as you grow closer with the Lord, your life can also change for the worse. Not in like a bad way, but like Satan is going to attack more and more the closer you're going to get with the Lord. But the more you push back and attack him, Jesus is going to come and help you and keep you safe as long as you fight Satan and tell him no. So, but he's gonna attack you in different ways and little things here and there to try to pull you away, and you can't let him. You can't let him, because God is in control and you have to say no. So yeah, my life has changed for good and for bad, because yeah, of course you feel attacked from every direction, but it would be way, way, way worse if God wasn't with me 100%, because I know both directions of the spectrum, and it is so much better with the Lord than without. So yeah, so that is my end of my Q&A. A lot of personal stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. It took a long time to make. This is a long video. I wasn't expecting it to be this long, but I hope you stuck around and enjoyed these questions. And yeah, so yeah, the last question was definitely my salvation story. People wanted to know about it. I will definitely share that on Monday with you all. And yeah, so I shared a little bit about my story a little bit in this video, but there will definitely be more coming. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you do have other questions that I didn't answer, feel free to leave them in the comments. I would love to hear them, and I would be happy to answer them down below. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.